Welcome to the Inner Blueprint Podcast. I'm Sean Foyer, the Universal Mindset Disruptor. With over 20 years of turning blueprints into thriving home improvement businesses, I've learned that the strongest foundations start in your mind. Whether you're building a business or your own success, we're here to reshape how you think and face daily life and always remind you to enjoy the ride.
I think a lot of people have these self-limiting beliefs about themselves, and that is why they don't implement the information that they get. They don't even know they have a knowing doing gap. They just think, oh, I can't do this, or, oh, I didn't do it in this time frame I needed to, so I better never do it. And a lot of times it's from these programs that were programmed into us that we didn't even program into ourselves.
Yeah.
We saw someone else do it. It was my mom was always late, so I'm always late. My dad never completed what he said he was going to do, and he's fine, so I can do that too. It's whatever it is, right? Or maybe at some level someone doesn't feel worthy of actually implementing the information because they know it's scary to think, if I actually do this, my growth is going to be so amazing. It's scary. I don't want to.
Yeah.
It's a comfort trap.
Well, and that gap you talk about, we call it the knowing doing gap, right? I know I want to do something, but I'm not actually doing it. What causes that gap? And I think what you just described there, 95% of our daily behavior comes from programmed pattern thoughts in the subconscious mind. Subconscious, below level of consciousness. We're not even aware we're doing it. You might wake up and think about that thing you heard at the conference last week, and I really need to do that. And you think about it for a split second, and then you go back into subconscious mode, which controls the way you get dressed, the way you do your hair, the way you drive your car, the way you run your day. And so really it's about integration. How do I integrate this knowledge into behavior? And, for the work that we do and my level of understanding with it, the only way to integrate it is to make it part of your daily process. And, we talk a lot about words like affirmation, visualization, spaced repetition of thought. That's really the best way I know to close the gap. If there's something that you know, and again, in any area of life, business, health and wellness, relationships, the only way you're going to make it part of what you actually do is by repeating it over and over. And that might be, the first step. And this is one of my favorite things that I learned from Bob Proctor and we've applied in our program, Inner Blueprint, is repetition. You go through our program. We have people that have been going through our program for 4 and 5 years, listening to the same material over and over. But what that does is it programs into your mind that information, and our information is designed to get you to implement, to get you to overcome these limitations. But anything you do, if you go to a training, I used to teach a 5-day training course on sales process, right? Reps would sit in it for 5 days. They would go back. Statistically, they're going to remember 10% of what they heard. Mm-hmm. And yet then they're expected to go implement that every day in the home at 100%. That's not going to happen. It's going to take. So, as you're thinking about your life and even the people you work with and in your businesses, if you don't have training in place to take information and to repeat it over and over until it gets integrated, it's got a very high failure rate. That is one of the reasons we have people that are addicted to information, is because they get the information, they don't do anything with it. So they think going for more information will help them get what they didn't get from the first information.
It's that false sense of progress.
Yeah, because it feels like you're doing something because you're learning. But if you're learning things that you already at some level know,
and you're not implementing it, that's the issue. And that's why so many people stay in our program for so long. How many people are like, I'm in this for life? Because even though we're doing the same things over and over, they change because we change. My goals change. My affirmations change. What I want out of life, what I want out of every single day, it changes. I look back at the first things I wanted, the first inner blueprint goal that I wrote down, and I laugh at it now.
Yeah.
But at the time, it was so scary, I could barely put it into words. And then it all came true so easily because of the repetition, because of the work, because of believing that I could do it and it was for me and I'm worthy of it. It came so much faster than I ever dreamed possible. The quantum leap I've made in 5 years as opposed to the 34 years prior to that is crazy. I have friends that don't recognize me. I have people in my life that are that were such a big part of my life that are no longer, because it triggers something in them. They see my growth and it scares them. They run from it. They hide from it because they don't want to do it themselves. And it's usually not even a conscious thought. It's a subconscious thought for them. It's a knowing doing gap for them. I know I could do that because Caitlin did it or because Sean did it, but I'm scared. Something in me says I don't want to, or I can't, or that's not for me, or it must be nice. And so it really is, it's crazy because implementation is the key. And to do that, like you said, is repetition, because that creates consistency. Yes. And consistency will win all day, every day.
Welcome to the Inner Blueprint Podcast. I'm Sean Foyer, the Universal Mindset Disruptor. With over 20 years of turning blueprints into thriving home improvement businesses, I've learned that the strongest foundations start in your mind. Whether you're building a business or your own success, we're here to reshape how you think and face daily life and always remind you to enjoy the ride.